Well, it is hard to believe, but the summer of 2022 is quickly coming to an end. The kids, they're back in school, and it's time to adjust those busy schedules. But first, we've got to review our August book club selection. Our friend Chantal Wilson from Richland Library joins us now as we discuss They Called Us Enemy by George Takei. It's good to see you, my friend. It's hard to believe, but the summer is almost over.
I know, it's flown by.
And we have certainly enjoyed our conversations and our reading challenges this summer. So let's dive into this book because the author, George Takei, he's more than just an author, right?
Yes, he's probably best known as Mr. Sulu from Star Trek.
Oh yeah, a lot of people know him by that. So let's dive into the book because this graphic novel, it really is a history lesson of what life was like for those that were imprisoned within American concentration camps during World War II. And Chantal, I learned a lot from this graphic novel.
I did too, and that's the one thing I love about reading anything, really, fiction and nonfiction, especially historical fiction. If it's in memoirs, if it's done right, you learn so much. And I really did learn a great deal that I did not know, something I didn't learn in school for sure.
Yeah, something I didn't learn in school. And when we looked at this graphic novel, and that was another thing about this book, is the images. The imagery really made the story come to life. Talk a little bit about the first-hand accounts of George Takei, what his family went through when they were behind those barbed wires for about 2 years.
Yes, they were actually in 2 different concentration camps. So his father lost his business and they were moved from California to Arkansas first. And they lived in that concentration camp for about a year or so. And then they were moved back west to another concentration camp, actually one that was probably a little bit worse. I think as a child, he didn't really understand everything that was going on, but it definitely made an impact on him as he grew older and as he became an adult. And I think it definitely informed his activism in his later years.
Yeah, at one point in the book, he talked about being a child and being so young as he thought that the officers, the guards, they were protecting them when in real life they were guarding to make sure that they didn't escape. What was your takeaway from this book?
I think just to find out like how much his father continued to love this country, even though it put him in a concentration camp, how much he continued to believe in democracy and what this country stood for over the long haul, and to continue to push for those rights that everybody should have.
Yeah, those important rights. And as I mentioned at the top of the interview, Chantal, I loved how this story came full circle. So you saw the experiences that George had as a young child in those concentration camps to years later as he was honored. And as a lot of those people who were involved in this and were involved in that camp, as they were recognized and, the government apologized for what they did to them.
Yes, they did. It took a long time. We did make an apology. There was even restitution made to some of the families who were still alive. It's just a very difficult part of American history, and it's hopefully something we can learn from and not ever repeat.
Excellent, and we'll be sure to put all of this information on our web channel on WLTX.com. Chantal, thanks so much for reading with us this summer. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I always enjoy this.
All right, have a good one.